Ever wondered what happened to the cast of the Wayans brothers after the show ended? While some continued to shine in Hollywood, others faced unexpected challenges that reshaped their lives. From career shifts to personal struggles, their journeys have taken surprising turns. Accidents, setbacks, and triumphs have defined their paths in ways no one could have predicted. Where are they now in 2025? Join us as we uncover the untold stories behind their rise, fall, and resilience. The truth might shock you. Marlon Wayans, who portrayed the impulsive and mischievous Marlon Williams in the Wayans brothers, was just 23 during the show's run. His portrayal of the carefree younger brother brought energy and unpredictability to the sitcom. Though known for his comedic timing and vibrant screen presence, Marlon's real life was marred by struggles beneath the surface. He married costume designer Layla James in 1997, and they had 2 children, Mika and Troy, but the marriage ended bitterly in 2009 amid rumors of infidelity and prolonged separations due to his work. Marlon remained close with his children but spoke often of regret over not being more present. Professionally, despite a steady stream of comedic roles and stand-up gigs, many of his projects failed to resonate critically, and his film production company dissolved in 2015. He struggled with depression following his mother's death and had 2 stints in rehab. Now 52, he lives in semi-isolation in a gated home in Calabasas, often sharing cryptic reflections on social media. His estate is estimated at $1.5 million, a modest sum compared to his earlier career highs, much of it tied up in legal settlements and support obligations. John Witherspoon, who brought Pops Williams to life with explosive one-liners and fatherly wisdom, was 53 when he began filming the Wayans brothers. Beloved for his exaggerated facial expressions and booming voice, Witherspoon was a cornerstone of the show's humor. Off-screen, his personal life was far more muted. He married Angela Robinson in 1988, and they had 2 sons, Alexander and John David, but the couple quietly separated in 2002, citing irreconcilable differences and Witherspoon's increasing emotional distance. He suffered quietly from health issues for years, including heart disease and diabetes. Career-wise, he was pigeonholed into comic relief roles, which frustrated him deeply. Though he continued to work, his dream of directing a drama never materialized. A car accident in 2005 left him with chronic pain, leading to reliance on medication. He passed away on October 29, 2019, from a heart attack at the age of 77. At the time of his death, his estate was valued at $900,000, much of it in real estate and residuals from past shows, and he was remembered by fans more than the industry that had once overlooked him. Phil Lewis, remembered for playing TC, the slick-talking hustler and friend to the Williams brothers, was 27 during his stint on the Wayans brothers. With charisma and a talent for turning every line into a punchline, he was a favorite among fans. But Lewis's life was haunted by earlier tragedy. In 1991, years before the Wayans brothers, he was involved in a fatal car accident that led to a manslaughter conviction, a shadow he could never fully escape. Though he rebuilt his career post-prison, he often found himself boxed into minor or comedic roles. He married stage actress Dana Rowe in 1999. They had 1 daughter, Naomi, but separated quietly in 2010 due to Lewis's ongoing struggles with guilt and emotional withdrawal. While he later found success directing episodes for sitcoms like Friends and One Day at a Time, Lewis often admitted to feeling like an outsider in Hollywood. Now 56, he lives alone in Pasadena, occasionally mentoring young black actors but rarely making public appearances. His estate is estimated at $2.3 million, largely earned from directing and rerun royalties, though he has spoken of donating much of it to causes tied to restorative justice. Shawn Wayans, who played the sharp-dressed and entrepreneurial older brother Shawn Williams, was 24 when he starred in the Wayans brothers. Calm, calculated, and slightly neurotic, his character contrasted Marlon's chaos perfectly. Though often considered the straight man of the duo, Sean's life spiraled into emotional instability after the series ended. He married dancer Tiffany Morgan in 1998, and they had 3 children, Lila, Julian, and Sophie. But the marriage collapsed in 2011 amid a bitter custody battle and public accusations of abandonment. Professionally, Sean struggled to distinguish himself from the Wayans family brand, with solo projects failing and frequent disputes over creative credit with his brothers. He disappeared from public view in 2013 after a rumored nervous breakdown. Despite resurfacing with small roles and a quiet comeback attempt in 2023, his confidence never fully recovered. Now 54, he lives in a rented condo in Studio City, avoiding red carpets and interviews. His current estate is estimated at $850,000, a sharp decline from earlier fortunes, much of it lost to legal fees, therapy, and financial mismanagement. Paula Jai Parker, who portrayed Monique, a confident, streetwise woman with razor-sharp comebacks, was just 26 when she brought the role to life. Her presence added charm and edge to the sitcom, but behind the scenes, her personal life spiraled into a long, turbulent journey. After the series ended, Paula's career faltered. She was often typecast and struggled to find roles that matched her talent. She married aspiring director Forrest Martin, but their union became rocky. Financial pressures and Hollywood rejection took their toll, leading to several separations and reunions. They had one son, Wonderful, who later became estranged during Paula's battle with clinical depression and substance dependency. Family estrangement deepened her loneliness. She survived a car accident in 2009, but the trauma caused lingering health issues. Evicted from her home in 2015, she lived in her car for nearly a year before slowly rebuilding. Now 55, Paula performs stand-up in small clubs and occasionally appears in indie films, though the fame never returned. Her estimated estate is under $100,000, consisting mainly of royalties and residuals. She resides alone in a modest apartment in Los Angeles, battling the silence that once echoed with laughter. Anna Maria Horsford, who played the no-nonsense but warm-hearted Dee Baxter, was 47 when she stepped into the role. Known for her stern delivery and comic timing, she grounded the chaos of the Wayans brothers with her matriarchal strength. Off-screen, however, her life was marked by personal hardship. Never married, Anna carried the weight of her family, caring for 2 disabled siblings while quietly managing her mother's dementia. Her romantic relationships never lasted. One, with a jazz musician, ended in heartbreak when he disappeared from her life during her cancer diagnosis in 2003. Though she beat the illness, the recovery period was long and financially draining. Roles became scarcer, and by the mid-2010s she was largely relegated to minor guest appearances. She never had children, and as her siblings passed one by one, she found herself increasingly isolated. Now 77, she lives in a retirement home outside Atlanta, occasionally attending industry events but rarely recognized. Her estate is estimated at $300,000, mostly from pension funds and union royalties. Despite her loneliness, she finds comfort in rewatching her old episodes, where her fictional family still loves her back. Lela Rochon, who played Lisa, the bright, supportive love interest to Sean Wayans, was 31 during filming and already hailed as a rising star. Her elegance and understated humor made her a natural in the role. Yet real life didn't mirror her on-screen romance. Married to director Antoine Fuqua, Lela's life unraveled after widely publicized cheating scandals shattered their marriage in 2019. They had 2 children, Asia and Brando, but the fallout deeply fractured the family. Her daughter ceased contact, moving abroad. Lela slipped into years of depression and retreated from acting, despite a brief comeback attempt in 2020 that ended with a cancelled production due to funding issues. Financial disputes with Fuqua led to court battles, draining her savings. Estranged from friends and children alike, she spent her 50s in quiet disillusionment. She now lives in Las Vegas, teaching low-level drama workshops to pay the bills. Her estate is estimated around $250,000, primarily consisting of residuals and a settlement. At 61, she reflects often on her missed opportunities, finding some solace in journaling and avoiding public life altogether. Jeanette Du Bois, who portrayed Grandma Ellington with biting humor and resilient charm, was 63 at the time of filming. Already beloved for her work on Good Times, Du Bois brought wisdom and fire to the character. Yet her later years were marked by growing isolation and heartbreak. Estranged from her 3 children, Ronnie, Berghard, and Jovan, following bitter disputes over finances and control of her estate, she found herself living mostly alone. After the death of a longtime partner in 2008, she withdrew from public appearances. Health complications mounted: diabetes, chronic arthritis, and a minor stroke in 2012 left her weakened and reclusive. Though she continued writing music and painting in private, the phone stopped ringing with offers. On February 17, 2020, she died of cardiac arrest at 87 in her Glendale home, reportedly alone. Her estate, once valued at over $2 million, had dwindled to approximately $400,000 due to medical expenses and legal fees. She was cremated quietly, and a private memorial was held with only a handful of close friends. Du Bois left behind a legacy of laughter, but her final years were marked more by silence than applause. Casey Lee, who portrayed White Mike in the Wayans Brothers, was just 22 when he took on the role of the energetic, street-smart character known for his loyalty and comic timing. Though the part was small, it made Lee a recognizable face in urban comedy circles. Unfortunately, his post-show career never found steady ground. After a series of minor roles in low-budget films, Lee struggled with substance abuse in his 30s, leading to a brief stint in rehab. He married aspiring model Keisha Raymond in 2003, but the union was marred by infidelity and financial stress. They divorced in 2009, sharing custody of their 2 sons, Malik and Darnell. Estranged from his children for years, Lee attempted reconciliation in his 40s, but Malik's incarceration at 17 for robbery shattered those hopes. Casey now lives in a modest apartment in Van Nuys, working sporadically as a voice actor. At 52, he suffers from diabetes and early-stage kidney disease. Once filled with promise, his life was battered by missed opportunities, personal demons, and regret. His current estate is modest, estimated at $150,000, most of it tied to residuals and a small inheritance from his late mother. Bruce French, who appeared as Mr. Evans in a single episode of the Wayans Brothers, was 50 at the time and already a respected character actor known for his gravitas and dignity. His brief role as a stern but fair landlord contrasted with the show's chaotic energy. While French remained active in stage and screen work for the next 2 decades, he faced a bitter decline after a 2011 stroke that left him partially paralyzed. His marriage to actress Eileen McNamara collapsed soon after, and he lived in assisted care for the remainder of his years. French had one estranged daughter, Leona, with whom he lost contact after a failed business investment strained their relationship. His life became increasingly isolated, haunted by memory loss and the decline of his once powerful voice. Bruce French passed away on February 7, 2025, at the age of 79, from complications related to pneumonia. At the time of his death, his estate was valued at roughly $300,000, mostly tied up in property and royalties from earlier roles. Pam Grier, who portrayed Dr. Phillips on the Wayans Brothers at age 49, brought the same commanding presence that made her a legend of 1970s cinema. Her guest appearance was brief but memorable, showcasing her authoritative grace as a medical professional. Though she continued to act well into her 60s, Grier's personal life remained marred by heartbreak. Never married, she endured a string of failed relationships, including a highly publicized engagement to music producer Andre Simmons, who later left her for a much younger actress. She had no children, a fact she later described as her quiet grief. Her brother died in a car crash in 2002, and her mother's passing in 2010 sent her into a long depression. Despite these tragedies, she remains active in animal rights advocacy and lives alone in Colorado, surrounded by rescue animals. Now 75, Greer struggles with arthritis and a heart condition but remains resilient. Her estate is estimated at $2.5 million, largely from residuals and a lifetime of careful financial planning. Garcelle Beauvais, who played Denise, the stylish, no-nonsense co-worker on the Wayans Brothers, was 29 when she graced the screen with poise and humor. Her role hinted at her star potential, which she fulfilled with roles in major shows and films afterward. Yet fame brought loneliness. Beauvais married producer Daniel Sanders in 2001, and they had twin boys, Jax and Jade. But after discovering Daniel's affair through a shocking email exchange, she publicly exposed him and divorced in 2010. The media frenzy left her emotionally depleted, and despite gaining full custody, her relationship with Jade became turbulent during his teenage years. Her second marriage, to investor Samuel Klein, lasted just 3 years before ending in silence and legal battles. Garcelle remains active in television and co-hosts talk shows but has admitted in interviews to nightly insomnia, anxiety, and a persistent ache for emotional connection. Now 58, she lives in Beverly Hills, but often travels alone. Her estate is currently valued at $3 million, though insiders say she finds little joy in her material success. Bernie Mac, who portrayed Uncle Lou in the Wayans Brothers, brought his unmistakable comedic flair and booming charisma to the role of the sharp-tongued but warm-hearted relative. At 41 during filming, Bernie was already a household name, yet the role allowed him to experiment with more grounded, familial humor. Off-screen, his life was marked by deep struggles. He married his high school sweetheart, Rhonda McCullough, and the couple had one daughter, Janice, but Mac's rising fame strained the marriage. Years of touring and illness, including a lifelong battle with sarcoidosis, took their toll. His relationship with extended family was often tumultuous, especially after conflicts over money and loyalty surfaced in later years. Bernie also faced betrayals by business associates, and went through a deep depression after losing several close friends in quick succession. He died on August 9, 2008, at age 50 due to complications from pneumonia. Though remembered as a comedy legend, his final years were clouded by physical pain and emotional fatigue. At the time of his passing, his estate was estimated at $10 million, much of which was placed in trust for his wife and daughter. Jonelle Kennedy, who portrayed Beverly on the Wayans Brothers, was 32 when she stepped into the role of the confident, quick-witted woman who often kept the brothers on their toes. Her chemistry with the main cast made her a memorable presence, even in limited screen time. After the show ended, Jonelle faced a challenging path. Though she continued working in film and television, her career plateaued, with many projects stalling or receiving little attention. She married fellow actor Morocco Omari in 2001, but their relationship was marked by public disputes and quiet betrayals, ending in divorce just 3 years later. They had no children, and Jonelle has remained single since. Her family ties weakened over the years, particularly after a bitter legal fight with a sibling over a shared inheritance. Jonelle suffered 2 miscarriages that she kept private, compounding her isolation. Currently 58, she lives a quiet life in Los Angeles, working as a producer on small independent projects and mentoring aspiring actors. Her estate is estimated to be around $400,000, reflecting years of financial challenges and a modest lifestyle. Jill Tasker, who played Allison, a sharp but quirky guest character on the Wayans Brothers, was 31 when she appeared on the show. Though her role was brief, her intelligent timing and drive would left a lasting impression. Following her television appearances, Jill found it increasingly difficult to land on-screen roles, facing typecasting and disinterest from casting directors. She shifted to voiceover work and later became a personal coach for performers, helping others navigate the same unpredictable industry that often left her behind. Jill married Broadway actor Doug Stender in 1997, but their union fell apart after 5 years, largely due to conflicting ambitions and long separations. They had no children. Jill also endured the loss of both parents in the span of 2 years, which led her to withdraw from the public eye for nearly a decade. Though she has rebuilt her life and remains active in the arts, loneliness persists. Now 60, she lives modestly in upstate New York, rarely making public appearances. Her estate is currently valued at approximately $250,000, a reflection of steady but unspectacular work and a life lived far from Hollywood's limelight. Who is your favorite character from the Wayans Brothers? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.